In the US, they have now passed a ruling to allow transgender athletes to compete in boxing with other women. So obviously, men that have now transitioned to being women have been permitted to box with women, which you already know what I'm going to say. I'm going to read out some of the article. We'll go through it. I want you to give me some of your opinion on it as well. I will just say this, that like we said before, there's been world-class female boxers who have gone up against men and been obliterated. These men are not particularly very good either.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
So the idea that a transgender woman would be allowed in the sport is insane to me. But I'll read out what they've said. So boxing's highest national governing body added a transgender athletes policy to its rulebook that requires genital reassignment surgery and stringent hormone testing before competition, making it among the strictest policies for trans athletes. Now, what I don't understand, and this is an argument I've heard from trans people, is that if you say you're transgender, then you're transgender, right? Now, they're saying that they have to undergo surgery and they have to take hormone replacement therapy or whatever it is. Does that not invalidate the people that are just saying they're transgender? Doesn't it feel it's a bit like 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
Yeah.
It's either like we believe that they're trans and so they can compete. We believe that they're women, or you don't believe they're women. You don't allow them to compete. Essentially what you're doing is you're basically like trying to play both sides. You're trying to appeal to both sides.
The thing is that I think regardless as to whether you've undergone the hormone replacements or surgery, I still don't think, sorry, my voice. I still don't think that they should be allowed to compete against people who were born women from birth. It's dangerous.
It's also I would, if I was a woman, I'd be insulted.
But I don't know how many times we can say the same thing and have the same conversation. Like I don't get why it's still happening or still being allowed.
Within the female boxing space, Clarissa Shields is considered to be one of the best. Clarissa Shields is always on social media saying she'll beat up this guy. I'm going to beat up Jake Paul. I'm going to beat up this boxer. She went to a ring and some dude laid her ass out. She's basically the best that the female boxing division has to offer. Laid her ass out. She's there saying, I'm going to fuck up Jake Paul. Look, I know people don't like Jake Paul. Jake Paul will fuck her up. I bet you £100,000 Jake Paul will knock her ass out. So if she's the best that the female side of thing has to offer, what do you think is going to happen if someone, let's say someone like Canelo says, do you know what? I want to win a female belt.
Wait, is that person a man that transitioned into a woman?
No, she's a woman.
She's just outright a woman and she wants to fight Jake Paul.
She wants to fight men. She thinks she's good enough to fight professional athletes.
Right.
So she's delusional.
And are they allowing it?
They put her in a ring where they spar in the gym just to like let her do her thing, and the guy knocked her on her ass.
But would they let her fight in a ring?
No, they're not going to let her fight actual men.
So then why are they letting transgenders fight?
Well, this is it. This is what happens when the mob on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube sinks their teeth into organizations or governing bodies, and then these people are completely out of touch. They don't know anything, clearly, and they allow it to happen. Now, what's going to happen is that there are going to be transgender females who are going to beat the piss out of these women, and it's going to take somebody getting seriously injured. You really get bad injuries when men box each other. But it's acceptable. If Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua get in the ring and they beat the shit out of each other, it's acceptable. They're both big dudes. They're both heavyweights. They've ironed out a weight class for these guys. It makes sense. If Anthony Joshua goes on hormone replacement therapy and has gender reassignment, what do you think is going to happen to the women he gets in the ring with? No, they're not going to leave. They will all die. All of them will die. And on top of that, it just invalidates the transgender people that don't want to go for all of that. The people that wake up in the morning and say, I feel like I'm a woman. Why can't I box? Do you not think I'm a woman? It's either you're in or you're out. These commissions, I'm surprised that this is happening in combat sports. Of all the things for this to happen, like the swimming thing, I was surprised, but I was like, okay, cool. If they do it in football, I'd be like, okay, that's really dumb, but whatever. Basketball, I'd be like, this is ridiculous. But actual physical contact between men and women, this is outrageous. So the guidelines dated August 2022 and released as part of USA Boxing's 2024 rulebook on Friday are facing criticism for including trans women, bucking a recent streak of sports governing body decisions that have excluded trans women entirely if they have undergone male puberty. The policy states that minors under the age of 18 must compete as their birth gender in weight classes outlined in the rulebook. Transgender women over 18 can only compete in the female category if they undergo genital reassignment surgery and submit quarterly hormone tests for at least 4 years following surgery. So what does that mean? If they don't submit those tests, are they not women? What exactly is going on here? Are they women or are they not? Now, we all know what the answer is, and I don't mean that in a horrible way. This is just ridiculous. I would love for somebody as big and strong as Deontay Wilder to say, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to take the easy way out. I would like for a guy that is built like Deontay Wilder or Ortiz or Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, any of them, Derek Chisora, to just be like, do you know what? Fuck it. Let's do this whole gender thing. You're going to get all these women brutalized. All of them. And then what happens, if women in boxing don't have weight divisions comparable to men's, right? There's no division that is comparable to the heavyweight division. So where do you put an Anthony Joshua? Where does he go? Where does he go? Is he not a woman? And then if he doesn't submit the test on time, is he no longer a woman? It doesn't make any sense to me. And transgender people should also see this and be like, yo, if I'm a woman and you recognize me as such, why am I submitting these tests? Why do I even have to undergo gender reassignment?
Yeah, it's very contradictory.
It doesn't make sense. You people at this boxing commission or whatever it is, you've got sticks up your ass. You're idiots, all of you. And anyone supporting this is stupid as well. All you're going to watch on TV is women getting fucked up. Now, it's going to make betting very easy. As a matter of fact, I could put the betting odds are going to be so heavily in favor of the transgender women that I'm just going to put £1 on the woman in the off chance that she knocks the dude out and then become a millionaire. Because no one is going to bet against a transgender athlete. It's going to be once in a blue moon. Maybe they throw a punch and accidentally twist their ankle. The guidelines, which define normal ranges of testosterone as less than 3.1 nanomoles per litre for women and more than 10 nanomoles per litre for men, mandate transgender women demonstrate that their total testosterone serum level has been below 5 nanomoles per litre for at least 4 years prior to their first competition and throughout the time they desire to be eligible to compete. So they have to go through all of that trouble just to compete with women. I can't imagine that's good for their bodies. You're literally changing your biological makeup to fit into a category you don't belong in, to go and hurt people that you shouldn't be competing with. And for what? Why can't you just compete with the sex that you were born as? I don't understand. This is combat sports. You're talking about people punching each other in the face. We all know that men are astronomically stronger than women. You can get a guy that is even half the size of a woman. You can get a woman that is 6 foot and has 100 pounds in him. The guy will probably still beat her up. If you're a big girl watching this, let's say you're about 300 pounds, right? Actually, no, let's say you're 200 pounds, you're ripped, you're strong, you're tall. You go to the gym. I guarantee you, 5'4", 5'3" Floyd Mayweather, however tall he is, I don't know, he'll still knock your ass out. He'll beat you 100 times out of 100 times. Don't let that muscle density fool you. There are no women that compete at the highest level that can beat Floyd Mayweather, Canelo, Triple G, any of those guys. It will not happen. If people like that, of that skill level, decide, you know what, I'm going to undergo this surgery because this is an easy way out and I can win all the titles, you guys are all fucked. You're never going to win anything again. We'll never see women on the podium ever again. There's not really much point in reading the rest of the article. This is just one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I don't understand the logic behind this. First of all, it invalidates people that don't want to do it, right? People that don't want to undergo the surgery. Am I not transgender now? It invalidates them if they accidentally miss one of the appointments to check their hormone levels. Am I no longer a woman now? It invalidates the women in the competition. We've been competing all our lives to get to this point. Now these transgender women have come in and taken everything away from us. Nobody wins here. Nobody wins here. Everybody loses. All you're going to do you know what needs to happen? This is when I would say, yeah, women need to go out there and start marching and protesting because this is dumb. You fought all these years for your own spaces just for the Jeffrey Marshes and the Dylan Mulvaney's to come in and steal everything from you. And then they're going to punch you in the face as well. And some of you dummies are going to take it. Some of you will be like, yeah, no, this is completely fine. Whilst this grown man is wailing on you. if you any of you think you're going to beat that standing 8 count, you are sadly mistaken. I'm actually interested to see where this goes. I'll be putting bets down pretty much any time when one of their fights are on. We'll make it a whole thing.
Yeah, but the odds will be so low. I mean, is it high or low?
It will be very low for the women's one, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
So we bet on them.
Yeah, but then the woman's going to lose and you're just going to not gain much because is a guaranteed answer of what you're betting on.
That's the thing, though. It's so ridiculous to think that a woman is going to win the fight.
Yeah.
That you put £5 on it, right? £5 is not going to break our bank. And if she knocks, you put let's say £5 for female to knock out transgender woman in the first round. We're going to the Bahamas the next day. We're going to be loaded.
And if it doesn't happen, then you just wasted £5.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of fun, right? If you're going to turn it into a clown show, we might as well just make fun of it.